How did you?
How we doing?
Everything went well,
Yeah.
and now we're doing some after video. So why did Cinnamon Greens get involved? I know you talked about it a little bit, but really what?
Well, number one, I'm a Californian. I started off out there, got my medical card, right when they came around. As soon as legislation passed, I was there probably in the first 6 months. So I've been a believer and a backer forever. Coming here, it's like, you see, it's tough. It's intense. It's nothing like the West Coast mentality. So when I met Teresa and had a chance to sort of like hear her side of what she was pushing for, I was like, yeah, we're totally behind it. And that whole relationship actually kind of like began because we had done the Cannabis Museum in Las Vegas and done all these giant huggable buds. Those are our t-shirts were going for the giant huggable buds. But those are 8 foot tall, completely fire rated, huggable buds with like hand sewn leaves. I mean, there's a lot of work goes into these things. And she loved that whole aspect, and that's kind of how the conversation started. And I think when she said, we're looking for unique places to host venues and do something to reach out and spread the word, I was like, oh, shit, I've got a spot. And the first time we did it, everybody kind of loved it, and we were taken aback. When people started to comment and say, hey, this is a great, event space. So, kind of a neat relationship, and here we are, part 2. And I think she's been talking about a harvest ball in October, like the 20th or the 22nd, somewhere in there. And I think she's almost thinking that sort of mass, like, I called it the Eyes Wide Shut party. Who knows, maybe it'll be the Eyes Wide Shut. You never know what might happen then. Yeah, I mean, we'll actually, we're looking at, we're gonna do a 200-inch screen up here, which is like 14 foot by like 9,
This
I
is the
think.
perfect setup.
So we're gonna get rocking, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
I like the way this guy thinks.
Absolutely. And did you learn anything new tonight from some of the speakers?
No, I think because I'm in that progressive, California mentality. To me, I'm so open, whether it's sexuality. I'm bisexual. To me, it doesn't really matter. It's like do what you want, say what you want, as long as you don't offend and step on somebody's toes. Ultimately, I don't care. Right?
Cool.
Yep. This is Adam. He's actually our mold maker.
Nice.
He does a lot of the the bud lamps. He did all those. Those are what's the polymers?
It's vinyl polymer.
Awesome.
Cast them. We use iridescent colors, and then you can light them with different intensities. That's the favorite right there, the one up on the front. Black light. And then we've got an 8-foot one that we poured in the back. We haven't had a chance to break it out, but hell, Adam could probably show you. We've got light banks on. If you want to see some of the behind the scenes,
That would be cool.
you might take them on a tour.
I can't.
Oh yeah, you can't pull that out. Nah, but you know what? Sure. I can give them a tour. I can do it.
Okay. Do you sell any of those lamps online where people can buy them?
The prototypes those were the prototypes we did, so we're kind of testing them, and right now we've kind of formulated. We have to do some different types to keep them more rigid. Plus heat, we ran into issues with heat. They actually, because they're semi flexible and rigid, they started to melt. We were like, oh shit!
Sad little bugs.
Come on through the curtain. So this is behind the scenes. We rent pottery. Of course, Christmas trees.
Right.
And the best part is when TV shows and movies, suddenly they're like, oh my God, we're doing Christmas, but it's July 4th.
Of course.
They'll call us and we can dress the trees. These are tons of different ornaments, so we'll pre-dress the trees for them and then send them out in bags. Hell, all this stuff came from Iron Man 3. I've been accumulating this stuff in my warehouse in LA for years before we moved here. Yeah, most of this stuff was Stark. Oh shit, was it Stark Industries?
Yep.
These are all our cherry trees. We constantly have these things going. This is a great shot for you back there. But these will rent out for weddings and they put them in bouquets, so everybody sees me white cherry blossom tree. You can see
What's a big
we're
thing
building
here?
so many more. That's how many friggin' white cherry tree blossom trees
Yeah, I
people
see
want
a
for
lot.
weddings. They're like, we want 10, 12, 14. And I'm like, damn, I can't keep paying these things. Nah, there's always assorted Christmas crap. We just keep whatever in here, ornaments, miscellaneous lighting.
Yes, Natalie, if you ask a question, I'll find somebody to answer it for you.
There you go. Got wood shop back here. We do welding, so whatever's needed for the job, we've got tons of just different metals, so we'll pull it out and like rig it up. And we do arches, arbors.
I would never know walking through, and I'm gonna take a tour of the whole front side.
Oh, yeah.
With the camera up, but I would never know any of this was fake, like it was manufactured.
We shut the lights down out there, so that's why this bank's dark. I'm not even sure if you can see. But we do molds, so there's fake moss mats that are fire rated, and we sell those commercially. We've got tree skins over here. You probably can see this, at least in your eye.
Yeah. Oh, actually, these cameras are pretty good. It's picking up fairly
We
well.
make latex tree skins, and these you can see these hanging on the shelves in the showroom. But it's a skin that we molded that out of an oak tree. And just completely casted. Yeah, and then this is just the base form, and we sell these to movies, and then what they do is they have the painters, and they do what we do too, is just, they layer all the different colors in, and the grays, especially, Georgia oaks. You want like that gray and that white overtone, and they'll finish that up, and then you go back and you do little bits of lichen. Hit some little spots of greens and turquoise and shit, and it's just crazy, man. Like once you nail it with that, it's pretty amazing.
It is. Amazing is the word for it.
Well, you can see these on our Instagram. You can take a look. There's some pics, and my wife Sarah just posted the other day. There's an image. One of the shows down in South Carolina, they bought a couple of these, and they just put them on a tube around a palm tree, and then you can have like an East Coast walk and talk, and there's no palm tree there. They're shooting, the south of the coast, total tropical, but you're doing a New Hampshire. I think it's Mr. Hodges, that Mr. Mercedes show, the Stephen King series, and it's like bam. You're walking by and it looks completely normal. So.
It's very crazy how TV and movies can
Gotta
make
trick 'em.
anywhere look anything. All right, I'll follow you.
Paint shop in here. Our painter EK is amazing. This guy's like in the High Museum for Works. He's like 62 years old. He's been seeing a bunch of stuff there.
Yep.
But yeah, you can see Cherry. This is all going next week. There's like 4 truckloads going to Lake Oconee to the Ritz-Carlton for some crazy wedding that's just white cherry blossom. Like, it's all the fucking wedding's gonna be white cherry blossom.
That's massive.
Our staff is working on these things for fucking, it seems like a month. I'm gonna peek in it.
Yeah. We'll walk back out that way.
Then you get a good view. We'll peek in this one. Watch your step.
And you've thought ahead to make it a venue space, and then to still
No,
be
it
able
kind of
to-
hit us. Yeah, it kind of hit us. And once we kind of caught on, we were like, we should just go with it. And that's why we keep this open area. We can just keep dumping stuff back here.
Yeah.
We're a rental company, so most of our stuff just keeps constantly circulating.
I mean, that's business nowadays, right? You're not one thing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we do events. I mean, hell, a lot of it's events.
And that's cinemagreens.com?
Yeah.
And the Instagram, I'm sure, is at cinema, or not
Yeah,
at, but
it's
Cinema Greens, yeah.
Yeah. Take it. I always say at Cinema Greens, like Facebook, I'm Facebook illiterate. I've never had a Facebook account. I'm quite proud of that. Did I just say that on Facebook?
Yeah, actually you did, but that's perfectly understandable.
I'm like,
All right, well, that was very cool. And we're definitely pushing you out and getting the word out, and we'll talk to some other people. But this
cheers,
is awesome.
man. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I was went back into the hotel to grab my coat, and it's like 67.
Like today.
Today was cold.
Howdy. So we're live, just so you know,
Okay.
just like we were earlier. Tell us a little more about what you guys have been doing with the video.
So yeah, we do video content in general. So basically anything that we can do as far as like education in the cannabis industry. So we do After Effects, Premiere, anything that's actually really engaging with the audience to try to get more people involved, because we understand like how short people's attention span is. So we're trying to make it really like animated, just try to get people's attention, because we just know that we have a few seconds to capture people's attention. So
Right.
everything that we do is just pretty much just kind of like a community type of collaboration.
Awesome. And did you learn anything new from tonight?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot of things new. A lot of people have a lot in common. So it's just really a matter of everybody getting on the same page about what we have in common, just taking it from there. So.
Awesome. And where can they find you so somebody can hire you?
You can find us on thehappycampers.com or on Instagram, The Happy Campers, or on Twitter, The Happy Campers. So
Keep it simple.
That's
Like
right.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
I appreciate it.
I'm so
All right,
tired.
so we're streaming live. Oh, both of you spoke. Awesome. Hey, look. So I get you put in. So we're live on the Georgia Cannabis, the CIA Facebook page, right? So you both had great speeches tonight. So how does one? When you were talking about an appointment? What does that mean specifically?
Okay, the DBHDD has regional advisory councils. It's kind of like the civilian oversight. And for each county, for each 50,000 people that reside in that county, they get one voting member. Okay, that's where you get to have some input into the policies for the behavioral health development and developmental disabilities. Autism and seizure disorders and addiction are a part of their purview. Each county board of commissioners are the ones that appoint those people to the councils. And at the last count I had, we were like at 50% strength. Once the people that were running that council found out I was trying to get people in the movement to volunteer, they started a massive campaign to pre-up that. So if anyone wants to be a political appointee, now's the time. DBHDD Regional Advisory Council. Go to your county board of commissioners and ask for an appointment.
Very cool. Thank you. And your story was very moving about your friend, and I think more stories like that is what gets people to change their minds and their hearts. Oh, that didn't work out.
I mean, what he's referring to is the story about my brother dying of brain cancer. And I'm on the air right now, and I promise you, I know it's the first Dorito I ever turned down in my life. I thought, the first time I heard of medical marijuana, I thought, hey, sure, I've got whatever it's, no. I'm telling you, I've seen it work, and I don't understand what people don't get about it. Cures cancer.
This right here is worthwhile.
So, we're praying for a miracle, and we got one growing in the yard that we don't use. Or we got one that could be growing in the yard that we ought to be using. And that's kind of my whole stand on the whole thing. And hey, we started wars over less. We started wars over freedom for less than that. So anyway, I'm not advocating we go to war. Please don't misunderstand that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we got rights here. And
nobody's ever done it.
I didn't ever. He was an excellent speaker here. We never gave up the right to grow things in our yard.
So,
Why not be like, hey,
from your story days to now, did you ever think we'd get to where we are legally? I know we got a long way to go, but did you ever think we'd even get here, being in Georgia and the Bible Belt?
Yeah, I got a lot of faith in people in Georgia and Alabama. By the way, Alabama just passed through the committee, just passed the Senate committee on not to decriminalize it, but to make it where it's no jail time. This week, Alabama passed it. Georgia signed a new medical marijuana bill this week. I know it's a dog and pony show, but hey, let's get our dog and pony in the show. That's that's what we got to do.
Awesome.
So hey, to all you people watching out there, thanks so much. I'm comedian Gary Carver.
And where can they buy tickets to your show?
Actually, I'm in the Strand, and I was looking for the date, and I didn't find it. But Nickelback Rick up at the Strand Theater puts on one called the Comedy Grind. We do 4 shows a year up there. I think that he takes local talent and puts them up. And you'll see maybe 6 comedians, maybe 8. I don't know. I didn't count. For $10, it's the greatest show. It's the greatest comedy show for the money in America. So hey, come see us up at the Strand.
Awesome.
Next month, I'm sure of that.
Awesome. I'll let you know.
God bless y'all.
That's gracious.
See if we find anybody down this way. We'll get Schleier when he's not in mid-talk. But this is some of the other stuff that Cinema Greens does. Carla.
Well, they've got these huge planters everywhere with ice in them, with plastic bags and ice.
See what we got in here.
Right? The food tables and stuff are down there, and that's probably where you're going to get.
What kind of question you have, Natalie? Find somebody to answer it. Yep.
How long does it take?
For to walk the whole place? If you're doing it slowly, it takes about 2 minutes. So we went in the back and everything. Now, what brought you here tonight?
Oh, Teresa. Teresa's amazing.
I love the shirt, by the way.
Oh.
Just noticed-
Oh, you're a hybrid? You like Marvel and DC?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
word,
yeah.
word.
Absolutely.
I actually went to see Shazam today, which was incredible. But yeah, man, 420 is just one of those days that we love and we respect, and we go to Denver usually every 420, but this is the 420 we couldn't make it because she went to Costa Rica a couple times this year, so we gotta kind of be limited on the money. But we support this. I want this. I think that cannabis is the way of the future. I think that if we have cannabis federally legal with no probation, no bullshit, it's gonna create world peace. Hands down, I believe it, and all because you get people that are sick. Well, you get people that are broke money, and you get this, and you also get to tax it, give it to their portion of the government, so they can't go, well, we didn't get nothing from it. And cannabis is just the way of the future, and world peace, man. I mean, wow. And Denver and California have no idea how good they got it. They have no idea. So I'm one of the Batmans that do definitely approve that cannabis should be legalized.
You think you bring peace? You're saying you bring peace to Gotham, is what you're saying?
Yes, bring peace to Gotham.
Awesome, thanks.
Can anybody hear me? I just want to let everybody know that Dave brought a honey baked ham. A honey baked ham. Dave brought a honey baked ham back there for y'all. Have some. Enjoy. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear what you say.
Dave brought a honey baked ham for everybody, so enjoy. It's on a table back there. If he's got it out of the cooler.
I want to ask you a few more questions.
Oh, sure.
So you're talking about nurse practitioners.
Yes.
We know doctors have the power, right? Is there any precedent that has anywhere shown where nurse practitioners get the ability to handle more stuff like cannabis?
Oh, absolutely. Nurse practitioners, we look at the world differently. We look at the whole person. Instead of the one issue, not a disease process, it's the whole person. So there's actually documentation. Nurse practitioners are doing as much, if not more, to help the people in their health care in their field.
So right now, are you able to do any kind of prescriptions at any level?
Not in the state of Georgia.
But
There-
other states.
In other states, New York, you can hang out your own shingle. Colorado, Florida, Georgia is one of the backward states.
Tennessee again.
In Tennessee, you can, but not in the state of Georgia. So we either going to get our prescriptive rights, or we're going to make marijuana where it's not on that level, and we're on our own registry.
Okay.
As long as we can fit in the diagnosis that's required, we can prescribe it. That's my goal.
I understand. And I've always thought that being in the South, right, the Bible Belt, where it's going to take us longer here. But also places like Washington, D.C., where all the politicians are, they passed recreational. What path do you think took it for people to stop going, this is evil, to, we'll back it and we'll sell it?
I think that if you get enough people, first of all, it's going to be getting, as Teresa said, getting the politicians that are pro, that see the real light, getting caregivers, getting people to go to the Capitol and saying, this is what we need. This is what I want. This is helping my family member. That's what we need. And I'm willing to get family members that are on medical marijuana, then I'm willing to get them to go to Congress and say, look at me. I'm one of the healers. I'm a success story. That's what's going to do it.
And it sounds like we need more stories where people talk about, this is what it helped me. This is how it did it.
And for seniors too. And there's a lot of research on Alzheimer's. A lot of research. That all we have for our seniors is drugs with side effects. Let's get rid of all these drugs with the side effects and give them something natural that will, it's quality. We want quality.
Do you think it'll take all the other states around Georgia to pass it before we do, or do you think
No.
Governor Kemp just said even recreational is not in the cards?
I think enough people, and I'm willing to start the march, I'm willing to start the protest, enough people to go to the Capitol and say, you want to stay in office, you're going to do this. I'm not going to do that again to y'all. You're going to do this or we're going to vote you out. It's really, I mean, we all have a voice. We truly have a voice. They want to stay in office, they're going to have to listen.
Well, historically, marijuana legislation has been based on either a profit motive or political motive. DuPont was instrumental in the movie Reefer Madness because they invented nylon and didn't know what to do with it. We're going to make rope out of it, we've got to make hemp illegal. That's how it happened. Nixon made it a Class 1 drug. Why? Because he was told that the war protesters and the blacks, two groups that opposed him, were big users of it. Make it illegal, they throw them in jail. So you've got to get rid of the stigma, and that is happening. Okay, too many people have grown up now saying, "I know what you told me about marijuana, but I'm seeing a different side of it." Okay? As more millennials vote, Gen Xers vote.
Baby boomers.
And baby boomers.
Baby boomers, we are going to bankrupt this country. There's going to be more baby boomers in our country than the young people. And the baby boomers are not quiet. We are going to speak. We are going to yell. We are going to make our voices. But everybody needs to.
Now, something you just mentioned was Class 1. I know what that means, but explain what Class 1 drugs are and what's in that class.
Class 1 drugs are the addictive drugs, the heroin. Just say heroin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you know that cocaine is a Class 2 drug? Mm-hmm. Marijuana was a Class 1.
Yes, but there's a lot of research around the world that is proving that marijuana is helping with Alzheimer's, with pain, and the opioids. So we are going to make a difference, and we're all going to speak up.
Awesome.
Does that help?
Yes, it helps.
And I'll give you my card, and if you want to, I'm going to fight. I'm willing to fight. And it's not just me. We all fight. This is my card. That's my cell phone number. You call me and whatever you want. I'm determined.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Don't mind if we ask you a few questions on the website? So what brought you here tonight?
I got a Facebook invite. I'm super stoked about
Now were you already connected, Teresa, into the group?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm super stoked about it. I always have been since I was a young man. Under the current circumstances, you know, what happened with me, my situation that I was talking about earlier, it's a tragedy. And I keep saying it like that over and over again. It doesn't matter if it was me or it was somebody else, you know, it sucks.
Yeah.
In general, man.
I know you can't talk, you said you couldn't talk about a lot of it, but if you're in a legal spot and you're doing everything by law,
everything that we did with retail products, like this is stuff that other stores in my area sell. This is a legal retail product that they didn't know the difference between marijuana and hemp.
So how'd they get warrant? I mean, maybe you can't talk about it.
I don't really have the details. All I know is that I said, "Hey, Dave's not here, man," and it didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So,
Now is your store currently open?
Yeah, it's open. We got a cease and desist on industrial hemp farm, but all other CBD hemp-derived products are fine.
Okay.
We did open another store in Tennessee, and working with Tennessee grower processors to provide product at that location and continue that movement. We did give away a lot more industrial hemp CBD products than we sold. The reason that is because we like to help people. You know, you see people come in and have a sore back or can't function, and then out of nowhere they are, and they're coming back to get more. That's the best feeling in the world, man. You know.
Now explain the difference between the cannabis you smoke without getting high and CBD oil.
Well, CBD oil, if it's derived from industrial hemp, it's isolated, so there's
for
no
those who don't know,
THC
we're trying to
involved.
educate people.
Yeah.
What's the difference between industrial hemp? That's a term a lot of people are using. What does that mean?
Well, it means that it's a different strain of cannabis, like an orange isn't a grapefruit.
Okay.
Same type of plant, right?
Okay.
But it provides different remedies for clothing, throat, back pain. You know, if you're smoking, ingest it, eat it. Salves, tinctures, you take orally, oils, rub it on your skin, or eating. There's lots of different.
Now, I've been told, and that's what I'm asking, I don't know, is that it didn't have the high properties. It doesn't get you high like smoke.
Right, you don't get the
THC.
head high. Like that's one thing I really love about CBD is you can take a whole bunch of it. You don't overdose. Worst case scenario, you might get a headache. You know, but you don't get high, you don't get lost, you're able to function and manage things, and you never get lost. Not that all marijuana is like that either, you know what I mean? Sometimes I get super productive and creative, and you will, you know, but for the most part, you know, people who can't take THC because of drug tests and so on and so forth, they can take CBD and relieve their pain and go to work and function, drive a tow motor, whatever the case may be. You know, so why block because these products are engineered, so to speak, to remove the CBD from them, the same way they remove the THC, a lot of the oils. And they can control the levels of THC in them too, so on a scientific level, you know. But the plant itself, it just grows it naturally, and it has small amounts of THC in it, and the different strains have higher amounts. So it depends on the product, really.
Gotcha. Now, from your standpoint, because obviously it sounds like you're really into the medical aspect and helping people.
I think medical's a horrible word. Let me tell you why.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay? Because it's more relief than it is medical. You know, the profession wants to put a label on it because it's easier to categorize that way. But really, it's natural. It's holistic as all get out. You know? So they don't classify eucalyptus like that, do they? No, but you can walk into any herbal remedy store and get eucalyptus ointment and rub it on your skin, and it's perfectly fine. But it doesn't help near as much as CBD does.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my way of explaining it. You know.
Now, would you, with your businesses, if it became recreational, would you carry all the strains as long as it's legal?
Yeah.
That's business, right?
Well, I mean, but aside from business, everything has its purpose when it comes to THC levels, and so where some people don't need THC and don't want it, there are people who need the THC. I mean, heck, I even seen a little auto thing. I can't really speak for for anyone, but I've seen biographies where people who have written novels that are pretty well known and famous said that they smoked and came up with this idea, So, in that, I mean, that's the psychological properties from the THC that you get, So, yeah, it's THC has its place, man, and it shouldn't be categorized medical. It really shouldn't.
They should be like supplements, like vitamins and supplements.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. If somebody wants or needs that much THC to function, I mean, who am I to tell them no?
That's
or
interesting.
Anyone for that matter.
From a business standpoint, because of what you're saying, it could hurt your business. Because if it's categorized as vitamin supplement, then the Walmarts of the world can do it.
Well, Walmart and
CVS
CVS already have a big foothold here in Georgia.
Right.
I've seen the legislation where they're selling CBD oils and stuff like that now.
Yeah, I saw
and making their
Walgreens
own
was
brands and
gonna start.
products.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So from a business perspective, I'm not trying to corner the market. I'm trying to help people. I ain't trying to be a billionaire from it. This is something that's all over the world. Why should, you know what I mean? I'm not an island either.
Right.
So, I mean, help people. You know what I mean? That's why I started my vape business to begin with. My uncle couldn't quit smoking cigarettes like 6 years ago. He just couldn't. And I said, well, dude, I know somebody who mixes some stuff, man. It's called vaping, and I introduced him to it. And then we started buying DIY products, and I started meeting people, and I'm like, hey, man, I'll sell your stuff in the store and help people quit smoking. We started giving out bottles to people to help them quit smoking. Industrial hemp happened the same way for us, man. Somebody said, hey, man, this really helps people. And I'm familiar with marijuana because, man, I smoked as a juvenile and all the way up for many, many, many years, man. I love marijuana, for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm at in life, I can't mess around with THC, though, because it'll put me in a state where I'll either sit around and get lazy or I'll be super hyper and try a whole bunch of things. Me, myself. You know what I mean? If I do a lot of THC, I'm all over.
What about for the detractors who say that one is a slippery slope, which I hate that argument, but that says there's can be abuse and people aren't going to work for it and it causes a bigger problem with welfare.
That's sad. I've never heard anyone really use that as a platform. I can see that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think it's an exit. I have more people on DRC, which is a drug rehab program, trying to get away from pills and stuff, that wanted the CBD because it keeps them from doing pills. You know what I mean? I think it's more of an exit drug than it is a stepping stone or a gateway or a way to make somebody lazy. I mean, like I said, there's different strains. So, I mean, yeah, some of it makes you stupid, look up the ceiling for hours and get stuck and you just look at the Doritos because you can't open them. You know what I mean? And then there's other stuff where you're up and you're animating, you're happy, and you're moving and you're doing things, Yeah. So I guess they really have to have some kind of knowledge or perspective or to even make that kind of a statement. That's
And we know politicians go with what the people want, so now we just got to educate the people.
But the people are educated, man. The people ain't the problem, bro.
Well, okay, I'm going to argue against that because in the South, where you vote straight Republican across the ticket, most people don't understand what it is until they go to their doctor, and the doctor's like, hey, you've got fibromyalgia, try this.
Try this.
And now they're like, and they don't put it with those weed smokers.
What I mean by when I say the people are people that try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by when I say the people. I'm talking about people who have experienced it. If you're someone who hasn't experienced it, you can't really have it. Really, I mean that's like saying, it's like to go 400 miles in a jet, 400 miles an hour in a jet, or 200 miles an hour in a car, and you've never done it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now you can say and talk to experts who have, or and they can tell you about it, but until you experience it, you really can't really have an opinion.
Awesome. Well, I hope you get everything worked out in Alabama.
I appreciate it.
So,
Thanks.
good meeting you.
Coming to the moment, I was starting to realize, oh my God, I'm